Ciso. Oh, it's fabulous! A strike to get you up off your seats.
Hello and welcome to the Seagulls Social Podcast, Brighton versus Newcastle preview. I nearly got mixed up there. We are joined by Ben and, of course, Jack. Boys, how are we? First of all, I'll start with you, Ben. You've been NFLing it all the time.
Yeah,
turned into
that's my new sport. I've forgotten about Brighton. I was a Patriots fan actually, not because I was glory hunting. It's just on FIFA 2005 you could only play as 3-star teams, and I was playing with New England Revolution. And when it came to supporting an NFL team, it became the Patriots, and then they became really shit. So I'm really annoyed at that. So otherwise, yeah, good matches.
Yeah,
Good.
I'm also fine.
Didn't get a word of that, but thanks for that, Ben. And Jack, you've been gone to some non-league football in the international break. How's it treated you?
Yeah.
No way.
Obviously, I've seen quite a lot of weird football.
It's not like him. He must be feeling unwell.
Yeah, what did I see? What have I seen?
So off-brand for Jack.
Saw Whitehawk twice. I went back to the Withdean. That was cool to watch Brighton in the senior cup.
Oh, that's actually really cool to talk about,
Vandinians.
Yeah, that was really cool. It wasn't that good a game. We only won 1-0.
It was 1-0, wasn't it?
Proper weird deal.
Yeah, 1-0,
Yeah, it was only 1-0. They defended really, really well, Vandinians. Shout out to their goalkeeper. Genuinely, such a solid performance. I don't think Brighton were bad. I think they just were really good at containing us. We had all the possession. We were always in control. I just think that if you want to watch a video on how to defend against as a low block, I think that would probably be a great video to watch because they played really, really
What was
well.
the match,
so shout out to Vandinians.
Last
Wednesday. Oh, Senior Cup.
Yeah,
Senior Cup.
yeah. Sussex, yeah.
Yeah, so that was cool.
All right. So basically, what you're saying, Jack, is that old Vandinians should come and show Brighton how to defend properly. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, pretty much. Technically, AFC Vandinians are better than Crystal Palace under 21s.
Oh my god, yeah.
Factually correct. That is factually correct, Jack. That's all we do on this podcast. We speak facts. And listen, we've got to talk about the team coming up, Newcastle. They actually joined with us in the league. I don't know if anyone knew that, but they got 12 points, same as us. Exactly the same record. 3 wins, 3 draws, 1 loss. So, going into this one, Jack, how are you feeling? Obviously, Newcastle away, a big venue to go to, a really intimidating crowd, and they're probably going to be up for it, aren't they, after the international break?
Yeah, for sure. Interestingly, I'm thinking about Newcastle, that they're kind of level on us. It's obviously a really tough place to go and spending the weekend up there because I do like Newcastle as a city. It's a great city on earth. And it's not the greatest city on
lovely
earth.
night out, innit?
Yeah, it's probably greatest city on earth is probably a little bit too far, but it's a good night out. I'm looking forward to the game. I quite like St James's Park. A lot of people moan about the seat that we can hardly see the pitch. I really like being up high. I don't know what it is about it, but no, I think they're having an interesting season this season. Newcastle fans do react to quite a lot of what various different people say. So I'm sure after I say this, a Newcastle fan on Twitter is going to tell me to die or something. But I don't think they've been that impressive this season. I think they've been a bit. I think the last game I watched of theirs was when they played Wolves, and they didn't really impress me that much. And then they scored 2 absolute screamers. So they've obviously got a lot of quality in the side. But they've had some really good results against some top teams. So, to draw with City is not a easy task. So, fair play to them. They've got a lot of quality in that team. So, it should be an interesting encounter. Definitely a difficult one for us. A place where we haven't won in quite a while as well.
Yeah, well, talking of our record, we've only lost just 2 of our 14 Premier League meetings with Newcastle. We've won 5, drawn 7, and then lost the rest. However, 2 defeats have come across our last 3 visits to St James's Park, Ben. So, as Jack says, it's a tough place to go. And yeah, what have you thought of Newcastle? Jack's not been that impressed with them. Do you agree with that, or do you feel like maybe they're a sleeping giant and they're going to come and bite us in the arse on the weekend?
Yeah, I think I probably kind of agree with Jack. They've been pretty hot and cold. They've had some good results, but they've also had some really bad results. Obviously, the latest one, 0-0, was at 0-0 at Everton. There was a good point for Everton, but probably not for Newcastle. They have got some pretty big injuries, Newcastle. It's definitely at the back. And also, I think I'm looking at their injury list now, and it's pretty peak for them. They got Isak out and Wilson out still. Botman and Lascelles are both unavailable. That could all change leading up to it. Kieran Trippier, I think he got injured against Everton, actually. So they've got some big injuries. I know we have as well, but I feel like our squad's probably stronger than theirs in terms of depth. So I'll give us a decent chance going there, to be honest.
Well, you say that. We've got a few players back in training. Dingro's back in training. I think Van Hecker's back in training. Who else did I see?
Rutter was there as well.
There's a few youth players as well knocking about. Yeah, Georgina Rutter. So I think João Pedro's probably our only sort of long-term absentee. Is that right in saying?
Matt O'Reilly.
Yeah, well. I'd say so.
Anyone? Matt O'Reilly, of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah. But so it's looking positive, Jack. We're looking like we're going to get a few players back now. Are you confident any of those players like Van Heck and Rutter, Dinger even, are going to have a part to play?
Yeah, it's interesting you say that. I think Ben's point where he said about depth, and I think Newcastle were the most interesting story over the summer. They didn't really recruit very well. I thought they were there were a lot of holes in their squad, which I think they didn't really address. I think that's a lot to do with PSR, and I think when you look at our depth,
I don't think they could had a choice to.
No, but I think we've got so much depth. It's coming back. I think Van Heck coming back is going to be a huge plus. Although I did like Igor's performance against Spurs, so it's not the end of the world. So, to have a few back, a Dingra, that's another option off the left. Although Mitoma's been unbelievable on the left, so you can't really drop him, I suppose, in some senses. So yeah, it'll be a tough test, but I'm never confident any game, and I don't think any fan in the Premier League will be confident going to St James's Park. But I reckon we can give them a good game. But that crowd, when they really get behind the team, they seriously do.
Yeah, talking about you just mentioned about their transfer activity. Obviously, we signed Minter from them on a £30 million deal. Do you reckon, Ben, he's going to maybe want to give a bit to Newcastle? Obviously, there was no bad blood that he just left. They obviously made a nice profit on him as well, so I'm sure there's no bad blood in that respect. But do you reckon Minter's probably going to want to go to St James's Park and make an impact there? Because he actually had a really good performance, I thought, against Spurs. So do you reckon he might continue that at St James's Park?
That would be an incentive for him, I guess. It wasn't really like Newcastle had a choice, to be honest. The fact to sell him, it was more just they needed to. So I guess I don't know. He might have been disappointed that he was leaving Newcastle. We just don't know really. He might have probably thought that after his successful loan at Feyenoord, that
plot twist,
he was going to get some game time the following season. So, that would be class if he does score against them. Does he have any loyalties to them? He might have played pre-season games for them, but I don't know off the top of my head if he's ever played a senior appearance for them. So I don't think he really. It's not like he's going to be holding his hands up, not celebrating. I imagine he will celebrate against them.
Doing a Declan Rice.
If the football gods want us to have some fun and get a few memes out of it, then please, I'd love Minter to score against Newcastle. It's probably the first time I've been as confident as I am going to St James's Park, because like Jack said, it's always a tough place to go. We've had a couple of decent results there, but from my memory in the past 4 or 5 games, it hasn't been too good. I think we got absolutely battered by them when we played in that orange kit following the 1-0 win against City, or maybe it was before City. I can't really remember. That was horrendous, and then I think when I went up there last time, we lost and we got battered, not by the scoreline, but we just got completely dominated. So it's never really fun when we go there. So we are due a decent result there, I think, and hopefully Jack will be able to experience that and have a great weekend in the best seat in the world.
Yeah. And talking of Newcastle's team, Jack, obviously they've got some very decent players. You can't deny it. Obviously Tonali's come back into their starting 11 now. He was a big miss, obviously, last season. Obviously his ban took him out for a long time. But yeah, they've got players like Anthony Gordon. Obviously Ben mentioned Isaac being missing could be a huge thing for them. But who are you most worried about going into the weekend from Newcastle's perspective?
Well, you say it like that, and there's so much quality in that team. I'm sort of scared of everyone, really. I'm quite a timid, pathetic person, so I'm quite scared of everyone. But I think the one which does scare me is, weirdly, the player who gets a lot of stick from various parts of the Premier League, and I don't think he's that bad. I think he's looking better and better. And I think maybe his price tag is starting to turn out to be a shrewd investment. But Gordon's pace is something which I feel like could definitely hurt us, especially if we're playing the high line. Van Hecker and Dunk and Eagle, they're not blessed with pace as centre backs, and Isak's a very powerful, fast centre forward. So, yeah, that'll be the big worry that I have of those two. You know, we played against Bruno, we played against Tonali before, and they didn't really do anything. They weren't as effective, and I think the way we play our midfield, I mean, I still don't really understand it under Hörsler, but it's almost like we empty the midfield and makes it almost ineffective in a way. So it'd be interesting to see how we sort of work like that and see how those two deal with it, because they've obviously got a lot of quality. I think at the back, they've got some very solid players. Fabian Schär's weirdly a player I've always really, really liked. He's probably not one that's getting massive headlines at Newcastle.
He's like their version of Joel Veltman for us, isn't he, really?
Yeah, and he just scores screamers. Like, I don't know how he does it.
Unlike Joel Veltman, unfortunately.
Yeah, Joel Veltman. But Joel Veltman always scores one a year. He only scores one.
When's it going to be, Jack? Is it going to be this weekend?
Maybe. Well, it was last year, wasn't it? Veltman got his one goal there, which was a bit of a strange goal from memory. I don't remember it hitting the back of the net, but maybe Joel Veltman will score his one goal. Burn seems to like scoring against us recently as well.
I was going to say Dan Burn going up against him.
Yeah, Dan Burn's a player. He's got a special place in my heart, Dan Burn. I still do quite like him. I think there's something about.
He's only got 4 fingers as well.
Yeah, exactly. He has only got 4 fingers. I'm hearing this new stuff. But Ben forgot to unmute there, which was crackingly done.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's my first podcast in a long time. I was just saying he's got 9 fingers, obviously, just 4.
Well, yeah, he's got 9 fingers. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, yeah. One hand. Yeah, thanks for clarifying, Ben.
Yeah.
Just in case people comment.
But yeah. But yeah, they do have some great attacking players, but also defensively pretty solid as well. So I think it's going to be I feel personally, I think it's going to be quite an evenly matched game. I don't think it's going to be too many goals. Maybe I've jinxed it now, but I feel like it's going to be a low scoring affair. I feel like both defences are probably going to be quite. Yeah, I feel like we're going to I think both defences will do all right against each other. I feel.
I do want to add, Maz, and it might change your mind.
What happens?
I'm re-looking at that document about Newcastle's injuries. It says their potential, especially for Wilson and Isak and Dubravka, but he probably won't play.
Callum Wilson's injured. Callum Wilson's injured.
I know.
Nah, no way.
Never. Anyway, their potential return is on Saturday, so they could return, and it could be a big boost for Newcastle. So 3-0 Newcastle.
If Isak does play, he's obviously a quality player, Isak, but he has been out for a while,
Wilson
so
loves scoring
he
against
time
us.
to find his feet.
Wilson loves a goal against
and
Brighton.
Wilson does like scoring against us.
Yeah,
but I'm assuming they're going to be not match fit, so might have a chance.
Well, you say that about Wilson. I think he must be up there with the players who have scored against us in the Amex era the most. I know that the player who used to hold the record for the most goals scored against Brighton was Coldplay lead singer Chris Martin of Derby. And so Callum Wilson must be up there because he scored a lot of goals for us.
Chris Wood must be up there as well. I feel like
Chris Wood scored a lot against us. Yeah. Ex-Newcastle Chris Wood as well.
Chris Wood, yeah.
Look at the links, mate.
Yeah.
Look at us go with our knowledge, fountain of knowledge. Right, boys. Any other business in terms of Newcastle? Anything that you want to mention about them, or before we get on to predictions?
I don't really know, mate. It's just not too much, to be honest. I mean, I guess we can, if we want to quickly touch on Tuchel. Just because of Eddie Howe. I know that there's some stuff what I've heard on the overlap about like Eddie Howe having issues with people. Well, Eddie Howe's having issues with people at Newcastle, so there might be some unrest there. I don't know if Eddie Howe will last the full season at Newcastle at this rate. So I think the guy that replaced Dan Ashworth seems to be a bit of a prat, and he's not really getting on with Eddie Howe anymore. So we'll see. We'll see if Eddie Howe
loves goalkeepers. That's all he. That's all he wants to buy. This new director of football at Newcastle. I think they now have 6 first-team goalkeepers or something ridiculous like that, including the Greece #1 who started at Wembley the other week but hasn't played a single minute.
Lachomidis.
Yeah, he hasn't played a minute for Newcastle.
Oh, because wasn't that part of the Elliot Anderson deal at Forest?
Yeah, it was all a bit bizarre.
Yeah,
that was strange.
But yeah,
dodgy, really.
Yeah. I mean, I will go on record as saying, and this is probably another thing that's going to lead to Newcastle fans telling me to die or something. But I just don't like Eddie Howe. I don't know what it is about him. I think it's not because he's a Newcastle. I think he's just been like an adversary of us for so long. Like, you know, but even back to like League One days, I remember when he was Bournemouth manager, and they got that bullshit penalty at the end of Brighton Bournemouth in 2010-11. I'm still bitter from that.
So you're happy that Tuchel got the job then, just so it meant that.
100%.
Imagine Tyndall as well as the assistant manager of England. That would have been mental.
Yeah, because that would have happened as well.
Yeah, that would have happened. Yeah.
But the interesting thing about Tuchel is not to say that the English FA are reading my Twitter, but I believe, or maybe I never tweeted it. I might have just said it, but I believe I said that we should get Tuchel straight after the.
So that's why they done it, yeah. Fair.
After we went out, I said if we're going to win a tournament, we need somebody who can manage, like, can play tournament football as one. Yeah. Play tournament football and has won the Champions League, and that's why I think they've gone for him.
Yeah,
he's won the Champions
League with a pretty average Chelsea team as well.
Yeah, people were trying to claim that Lampard won the Champions League, but he got him through the group stage. And
the groups was Rennes, Galatasaray, and someone else, and then Tuchel beat Atletico Madrid home and away, beat Porto, beat Real Madrid, beat City in the final. Like, absolute monster with a shit Chelsea team.
There you go. Yeah. Also, just quickly on Tuchel, actually, because I saw basically the media have just jumped on the whole narrative of he's a German and he should be an English manager. We need Brexit means Brexit, and I'm sat there like, lads, are we just forgotten about Sven-Göran Eriksson and Fabio Capello? Like, am I being stupid? But was there an outrage when they became managers? Like
I didn't rate Capello.
I think we were just in the pits when we did have Capello. It was like, we got this generation, we need to give him a good manager, and then with they kind of FA were like, right, well, let's just peel it back here. Let's just put Southgate in for a little bit until we find someone else. They never did. Southgate done well, brought really good harmony to the squad. But I think this was the time now we actually need an unbelievable manager. If Southgate can get that England team to the finals, if Southgate then we're good. I think World Cup is ours, mate. Next year, sorry. I think 2026, isn't it?
As well with Tuchel, the difference is he's managed in this country. Like, I think the difference with Capello is he never managed in England,
and also couldn't speak English. So the whole train sessions were in Italian. Fucking idiot.
So I think it is all quite funny with the whole he's a German thing. It doesn't bother me that much.
The memes are quite funny, to be fair.
Yeah. I mean, it would be nice.
What the funniest meme is? The funniest meme beyond all of the Germany. Well, I was going to say the H word, but yeah, all the Germany memes that say of Thomas Tuchel is that Graham Potter's waited 2.5 years or whatever to get this job, and he's still jobless. It's brilliant, fantastic.
Yeah,
that was good. I did thoroughly enjoy that.
It's interesting you say about Potter though, because when he did leave Brighton, I think everybody could have said this Chelsea job will really damage your rep if it goes wrong. And that's exactly what's happened. So I think he should have been reading your tweets as well, Jack. Like, all these people should read my tweets, and then the world football will be solved. It'd be the best thing ever.
We'd have world peace. It's like that meme, if the world the world would be like
civilization.
We would have signed Dom Solanke, and he's doing unreal now. When Dom Solanke was crap, everybody's like, "Oh yeah, look at this bozo talking about that." I was always a big Dom Solanke fan, so yeah, get it.
You were there from the beginning.
Listen,
right, final one, boys. Match predictions. Ben, we'll start with you. Newcastle, Brighton, St James's Park. What is your score prediction?
2-2. Desmond.
Oh, nice. Ooh. Desmond 2-2. Jack?
Interesting. I'm not going to go 1-1 again.
Interesting.
I think if you go with my predictions, I've said 1-1 in almost every single match prediction. But weirdly, the way I think the game is going to go, I think it is going to be 1-1. I can see us going ahead early, and then maybe them getting a goal late on, and then we both push for a winner. So maybe 2-1 either way. Do you know what? Fuck it. I'll go 2-1 Brighton. I'll give a bit of positivity.
Here we go.
Yeah, love that.
2-1 Brighton.
Love that, Jack. I'm going to go 3-1 Brighton. How about that?
That's bold, man.
You're not, are you sure?
No, I am. 3-1 Brighton. Boys, listen. listen, I feel like that Spurs game is the tide. The tide's going to turn. We have that win against Spurs. I feel like, uplifted the squad, the camp. I feel like Herzl is embedding his system. He's getting used to the Brighton life.
Rutter's finding confidence.
And he's going to go to St James's Park. Yeah, Rutter's flowing. We're starting to get our players back. We nearly got a fully fit squad. It's going to be 3-1, boys.
Oh, well.
Let's go.
I don't think you're even
there you
convinced
go.
by
And on that note...
You're not giving me, the words that you're convinced by that.
I am. No, it's a false confidence, I think. But I think we can score a few. I think we can score a few. We'll see what happens. Right, boys, it's been an absolute pleasure, as per always. We shall see you after the Newcastle game where we won 3-1.
Yeah, interesting.
Come on, up the Albion.
Up the Albion.
Up the Albion. Right.